Hey, welcome to the VHF UHF channel, and this is an old friend of mine, and this is probably the first receiver that really got me started, into VHF and UHF listening. Now, I had a radio before that around 1979. My dad had bought a multi-band radio, and I don't remember the brand or anything. It was, one of those very popular at the time, cheap multi-band radios. And what happened is at some point the radio broke down, and I never heard of it again. And someday my dad came home with this, which is the Patrolman CB 60. Now, some of you might have a variant of this. There's also a Patrolman SW 60. The difference is in the CB band here. If you had a CB60, you had the 40 channel CB here. If you had a SW60, you had a shortwave band here. And actually, I also own the SW60 that's in the rack there with all my radios. And I bought it on eBay for like real cheap. And so this is local law enforcement, local Provincial Police, by the way. And so you see that this receiver actually works pretty well. I'm trying to here it goes. So I put the squelch on. It's a little scratchy. I need to clean the potentiometers, but still works well. So that was the Provincial Police here on 154.740. So basically, this one had a very nice, back then, Radio Shack and Realistic radios had real good manuals that explained exactly what you could hear, and that was fun because it actually told me what I could hear in different frequency ranges there. So I started really my passion for VHF, UHF radio listening with this receiver that I've used a lot, and I listened to, it was the first time I had a receiver that could go into the UHF 450 megahertz range, which I never had before because the other multiband radio I had was only VHF low, VHF high, which is 30 to 50 and 108 to 174. So that started all. So this receiver, as you see, still works, and I still can use it to listen to amateurs. I sometimes listen to a local amateur 2-meter band repeater on this receiver. Also, as you see here, I caught local police. In terms of sensitivity, when you compare it to today's receivers, or like a receiver like this one, for example, well, that is really a receiver that is not very sensitive when you compare it to today's radios. Basically, it received, but it was not that great. Also, the lack of really a good circuit meant that there was a lot of FM station breakthrough to the VHF band. Also, this radio actually also served for probably 4 or 5 years. This was the main radio that my mother would use to listen to her local AM CBC outlet that was on 690 kilohertz back then. So this receiver for a few years had daily use. And what I would do is I would unplug it and listen to whatever I want. I'd plug it back in the kitchen and put it back on the CBC outlet so my mother could listen. And it has 2 antennas, so if you look here at the top, you've got the UHF antenna that's here. You've got a longer VHF antenna here, and the receiver also has a plug in the back to have an external antenna that never been used. Has an earphone jack on the side. And also this radio can work off of AC. Right now it's plugged into AC. Usually you have two little lights here that light up, but the ones on this one are burnt. On the SW60 I have, these still work. And also this receiver works on 4 C-type 1.5 volt batteries. So this is what's started all, and I'm still happy to have this in my collection. One of the great fun receivers of the time. So let's just see here, trying to tune a little bit on the signals is not always easy. It was not one of the best receivers, but you know, did the job, and I had a lot of fun with it when I was younger.
Prévision pour la région de Saint-Hyacinthe pour ce soir et cette nuit.
This is local weather outlet from Environment Canada.
-11. Pour lundi, alternance de soleil et de nuages. Maximum -4. Pour lundi soir.
So anyways, wanted to show you guys what started really the VHF UHF side. And after this radio, I had another one that I don't remember also what it was exactly. I had a it was green, looked like an army radio, but it was not. It was just the looks, and it had the VHF bands also on it. But after that, really what started all, I got myself a scanner when the programmable scanner starting to get out in the late 80s. I got my first scanner, and that was like so much better than this receiver. So that's pretty much what it started out. The Patrolman CB60. Had that in somewhere in 1983, I would say. This radio came home, and when I wasn't listening to shortwave with the DX100, I was tuning the VHF UHF ranges with this portable radio. So hope you enjoyed the videos. If you do, please subscribe to our channel. You'll be informed when new videos are online. And thank you for watching.